Percy's Bumpy Ride. Nick Butterworth. Percy the Park Keeper was hard at work. Bang, 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 bang. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Tap, tap, tappity tap. Bang, bang. Ouch. For 3 whole days, sounds like these had been coming from Percy's workshop. What was he doing? Percy's friends, the animals who lived in the park, could only guess. I think he's making a bird table, said a squirrel. It could be a park bench, said a rabbit. It might be a... But nobody heard what the hedgehog thought it might be. To that moment, there came the roar of an engine. The workshop doors burst open, and above the noise of the engine, they heard Percy's voice. With a great clanking sound and a lot of smoke, Percy emerged from the workshop sitting on top of a very strange machine. Percy pushed a switch and the engine coughed and spluttered into silence. "Well," said Percy, "what do you think?" "I know what I think," said the fox. "I think, what is it?" "This is my new lawnmower," said Percy, patting the machine. "I've got terribly behind with cutting the grass. My old mower is so slow, but with this, I'll just fly around the park." "Will it really fly?" asked a hedgehog. "It's a lawnmower," chuckled Percy. "The propeller on top is to fan me with cool air while I'm mowing." Percy turned a key and the engine clanked into life again. "Come on," he said. "Let's try it out, all aboard." With everyone sitting on his new mower, Percy began to chug across the grass. "It works!" shouted Percy as he admired the stripe of closely cut grass behind the mower. "Let's try it a bit faster." Percy pushed a lever, but what happened next took everyone by surprise. The engine roared and the propeller whirled I finter and Ioster. Then, to everyone's astonishment, Percy's mower began to lift into the air. "It does fly," squealed the hedgehog. "You're so clever, Percy." Well, I wouldn't say that," said Percy as he struggled with the mower's controls. He was beginning to think that the propeller was not such a good idea. At first, the flying mower seemed to be deciding all by itself where to go. But after a while, Percy found that by pushing and pulling levers, he could make the mower go where he wanted. For the animals, it was very exciting. Only the ducks and the owl had ever been this high up in the air before. Suddenly, the badger called out, "Tree ahead, Percy." "Oh, thank you," said Percy. He pulled hard on a lever and just managed to swoop over the tall tree, mowing some leaves as he passed. As the mower climbed the tie, the animals were amazed by what they could see below them. "Look at those sheep," said one of the rabbits. "They've made a shape like a hand. I think they're waving to us." "I doubt it," said Percy. "I shouldn't think they've even noticed us." "I think they have noticed us," said the rabbit. "Look." The sheep had now arranged themselves into the shape of a face. It looked very much like a face they all knew. Everyone waved to the sheep. Percy wished he could join them. He didn't realize how quickly his wish would be granted. Whether the spinning propeller on top of the mower had begun to feel giddy, or whether it had just had enough of turning round and round, no one could be sure. But suddenly it stopped, and just as suddenly so did the mower's engine. "That's better," said the fox. "It's nice and quiet." "It's quiet," said Percy, "but it's not nice. We're going to crash." Down went the mower, and down went the mower's passengers. "It's such a pity you don't have wings," said the owl. "Isn't it?" said Percy as he shot past her. The sheep below looked worried. They began to run all over the field. "Get out of the way!" shouted Percy. But the sheep didn't. Instead, they huddled together right under where Percy and the animals were falling. Then Percy realized what the sheep were doing. Now, instead of the hard ground below him, Percy looked down to see a soft, springy, woolly blanket. The badger was the first to land. As each one landed, they bounced on the soft, woolly backs of the sheep. Even Percy, the heaviest of all, bounced 3 times and was safely down. Everyone said a big thank you to the sheep. They laughed and said they were very glad to help. They were only sorry they couldn't save Percy's mower. Percy looked to where the mower had crash-landed in a tree. "I won't be using that again," he said. "What will you do?" said the hedgehog. "The grass in the park is still very long." Percy sighed and scratched his head. Then he began to smile. Sheep," said Percy. "How would you like to visit a field of lovely, long, tasty green grass